Welcome back to the Oviedo Mall TV show. I'm Kevin Hypes, the general manager, and I'm your host. We just got done with Mooyah Burgers, Fries, and Shakes, and now we have our second guest in the Oviedo Mall. It's going to be the NeoWare Studios guys. And I am so excited to be able to have these guys on here to tell us a little bit about their company. First, let's see, introduce yourselves. We have Caesar.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Caesar Medell. I am the CEO and co-founder of NeoWare Studios.
I'm Alfonso Morales. I'm the CTO and partner here.
Okay, fantastic, guys. Well, why don't we start off with a couple of questions. What is a NeoWare Studio?
So, NeoWare Studios is a tech space business. And Kevin, I want you to know that I say space very liberally because it is not just space the way that you think about it as a dimension. It's space like real estate. When you look at co-working and you look at renting a desk or an office space, that's a real estate business. But first, we're a tech business. We do a lot of cool stuff with augmented reality, blockchain, websites, apps, you name it.
Yeah, no, we do a lot of great things with technology, and in the same way with space we're a bit liberal, we're the same way with technology. There are so many ways that tech can affect what we're doing. I mean, specifically we're at the Oviedo Mall, and along with technology we've used it to create e-commerce sites for other tenants in the mall. We're using augmented reality to do just that, augment the reality that people see through their phones.
Wow. Wow, that's pretty interesting stuff. So what is the plan?
So the plan is, and that's where the Oviedo Mall came in real handy. The plan is to go ahead, build the concept, which is what we did, excel at the concept, which is what we did, and now we're going to grow the concept, which is licensing and franchising. That's the next step.
That's fantastic. So how big a space do you occupy right now in the mall? And I know that you've signed a lease for a new space.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about how you started here and kind of where it went.
Alrighty, so give or take, we came in around March, April of this year, 2019, and took hold of about a 5,200 square foot space, give or take, and blew it out of the water. 2 months in, we were 95% occupied.
Wow.
And 4 months in, we decided, heck with it, let's go ahead and expand. And that's exactly what we did. We expanded to an 18,300 plus square foot space. Right now we're in the permitting process, hopefully opening in the next 6 to 8 months. We think that we'll be able to make it for the 1 year anniversary here at the Oviedo Mall.
Yeah, and to add to that, on the technology side, we're in that same phase of licensing out and creating the actual products that are going to be able to be put in our space here, but in many other locations. So even if there's not a NeoWare Studios there, our technology may be very expansive in terms of where it goes.
This is a fantastic concept, by the way, because I've been very involved with these guys. From the minute we met, we were like instant friends, it seems.
Absolutely.
And that happens to me a lot with people. I'm kind of a people person guy.
Great attitude.
But it really is true with these guys. We hit it off. I hang around with these guys. We all wear the same NeoWare shirts. I feel like a bowling team. It's just the way
Sure
it feels
are.
to me. But anyway, I'm making light, of course. What I think is really exciting, though, is that this concept is so different than other co-working spaces in that you guys are located in malls. Malls where there's free parking, where there's a food court, stones throw away, where there's entertainment, where there's a craft beer place, where there's daycare, fitness center, all of these things. This is going to be like a Google campus right here. And not only are we going to do that here to the Oviedo Mall, but we're going to take this concept, franchise it. We're going to cross the whole country to all these little old falling apart malls. We're going to rejuvenate them. We're going to turn them around. We're going to make them all home runs. And you guys are going to have a national chain pretty soon before you know it.
Amen.
That's my prediction, I think. But, well, before we get into more business, let's go personal for a few minutes. So, Caesar, tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Definitely. So my background's in human factor psychology, which is a little different. What this is the type of psychology that you go into a business setting and try to maximize the return of space, the return of human equity. My background in the business side is really mortgages, real estate. It's kind of wild how since I was younger, I was very much so into tech. The latest cell phones, the latest gaming devices, the latest websites and apps that came out. And marrying all of those interests together into a passion and then being able to carry this company forward has been kind of what I've been doing for the last 6 years. Is really just incorporating everything I learned about the human element, everything I've learned about the business element, real estate and tech, and then just marrying it. The Oviedo Mall actually provided the environment for that marriage. It was very serendipitous, to say the least.
Interesting. Well, Fonzo, how about you? A little bit about yourself.
So I'm a technologist at heart, I would say. I had a lot of experience in the past before NeoWare Studios in creating companies that were heavily focused on newer technologies like augmented reality. This has been amazing though. We have a team of people now that are so like-minded. I know you talk and we joke about how our relationship formed through the mall, but it is really that. I am someone who has a lot of passion for technology, but about community. And that's why where we're at right now, it's such a great impasse to be here and figure out what are we creating for these malls, because it's really about taking what Amazon did in a sense. They destroyed malls in a way, but through our technology, through what we're doing, we are kind of reinventing the malls. All those resources and amenities you talk about, we put them all together in a location where someone could just pull out an app and understand the value of what these dying malls are. And I don't really think they're dying. I think they've been perceived in the wrong light. So for me personally, my background as a technologist, as someone who wants to help solve problems but wants to bring community together, I just feel like I'm at home. I have people like Caesar. I have an amazing team with marketing and business development and just a general group of people that care so much. So yeah, that's pretty much who I am.
Well, I like hearing that. So tell us a little bit more about the details of what's coming in terms of the types of spaces people can rent, how big, how small, how much, how long. Give us a little bit of that. I guess it could be the one of you guys.
Okay. We have a model that's called the Start, Stay, Scale model.
Okay.
Starts at $99, which is an amazing deal. For $99, you get a desk, you get internet connection, you get water, you get a mailbox, you get a locker, you get a whole community that supports whatever it is that you do, whether you're a freelancer, an artist, maybe a work-at-home parent. Whatever it is, to have a space that gives you the privacy and the connecting tools to maximize yourself. So that's our $99 package. Then we have a $299 package and a $499 private dedicated space that we're going to be launching at the new space when we open in 2020.
Well, that's exciting stuff. So it seems to me, from what and I'm not a techie, you guys know that. I'm a back of the napkin real estate guy, commercial real estate for 35, almost 40 years now. So I'm not a techie. But the one thing that I got when I got in there is when I walked in your space and I saw 15 or 20 of these young kids buzzing around desks talking to each other. There was nothing but ideas and just interaction and creativity going on. And that's when it hit me. I said, gee, you know what? Instead of working out of your office in your house, which I have a home office, and sitting there and like trying to get motivated and then putting the TV on and saying, no, I'm not doing that. Well, the kids are knocking at the door and you're like, hey, leave me alone, trying to work. You come here and you're one of about 15 or 20 people all one time, are just brainstorming together, coming up with new ideas, talking to each other, sometimes creating new partnerships or creating new products. What I really liked about your store was that you had the fellow who was the patent attorney who rented a desk. If you came with an idea, you just went over to him, he patented for you. Or you had the accountant. If you wanted to start a business because you just decided to create something new that's going to hit the market, she helps you with the accounting. I mean, there's just so many ways. And then all the tenants that were here, like you had mentioned earlier, that we have a lot of tenants in this mall that are great people, hard workers, but they're not that plugged into social media and online stuff and web pages. But you guys came along and met with some of these guys, showed them how to build web pages, showed them how to make money online, showed them how to get hits on social media and all that kind of stuff. And all of a sudden, they're doing more business out of this mall. So it seems like you guys coming in here is not just a good deal for you, but it's actually a good deal for the mall tenants, which makes it a good deal for the mall.
Yeah.
So it's just a win-win all around.
I think what you're touching on is called an ecosystem.
There you go.
When you look at the big companies out there, like an Apple, a Google, and Amazon, they've succeeded where malls have failed because they built a whole community, an ecosystem. And instead of going to shop at a mall and picking up whatever, now you go on Amazon and you can rent a movie, you can buy a dress, you can even buy a car. I mean, that's crazy. But the cool part is that when you have a community that's working together and what's in it for them, was in it for you, that's the cohesiveness that we're bringing back to a mall.
Yeah.
A mall back in the day was created with no technology around. What we're doing is we're bringing tech back to the mall and reinventing that. But again, these are tools that have been out there, so everybody will be able to adopt this. Nobody's going to have a learning curve. What's just cool is that you won't be home alone working by yourself. Now you're working with your friends and family out a mall.
And I'll add to that, I think you're a great example of someone who came in the space, and even though you don't understand the technology to the level of maybe some other members in there, it was never really about that. And it was about creating that environment. And the fact that it showcases and it works almost every time, we realize we're catering to a certain type of audience. People with an attitude that want to work together, that want to build a community. And it's interesting, something we're very protective of as we're going to build out these spaces is keeping that environment very similar throughout the locations. We want there to be that feeling that you walk in there and every company is represented. Every person, although a different skill set, they're still as valuable as the person next to them.
That's great, and that's true. What about some of the things you do for the other tenants in the mall? I know that you've got some, basically clients. I know you've worked with the Oviedo Brew House and with the Sock Gallery. What kind of things have you done for those guys?
So with those two as an example, one of them didn't have a marketing medium and the other one didn't know about e-commerce. So when you look at the Sock Gallery and you see that they were just a brick and mortar trying to sell through word of mouth, and then comes in e-commerce, and what the power of e-commerce does, it opened up a whole new line of revenue, a whole new gamut of opportunities. Then you look at the Oviedo Brewing Company, which had no marketing prowess. This is the first time he's opening up his own bar, his own brewery. And what happens is that now we've educated him on marketing. He did so well, he's branched off to build his own marketing department. And that's the goal. The goal is we don't want to make them dependent on us. Just like any form of education, you get educated, you work with us, you grow with us, and then you go off and you do it on your own. You've got the tools now that we have.
Well, that's a pretty good deal, instead of having you have that marketing budget forever and ever.
Right.
So that's great. That's fantastic, as a matter of fact. Well, what about events? You guys have recently started to do events, having people come in. And you know, one of the keys to this mall, the keys to turning the mall around while we're in this transition stage for the next 12 to 18 months is we really got to get people in this place. So if you're listening out there and you got nothing to do, just put this tape on hold, get in your car, come to the mall, buy a Booyah Burger right now, then go visit these guys, then walk the mall and buy some stuff. Even if you don't need the stuff, buy it anyway. Because the people in this mall who have their businesses, they've got their life savings in these stores, and they deserve for you to come in and buy a few things. Get to know them, ask them for some questions. But one of the things we're really trying to do, I get sidetracked sometimes, is to have people come into the mall. And that's not an easy thing to do in malls, because mall is almost a dirty word these days.
Yeah.
So we're trying to do a lot more marketing events and things. And you guys are on the cutting edge of that, because you're kind of hosting events that are bringing sometimes 50, 100, up to 200 people into this mall for a full day event where we're getting voucher tickets to the food court people and renting out rooms. Tell us a little bit about what you guys might have coming up in the future.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to bring up actually an event we just recently had, and I think it's a perfect example of how we're working with the community, how we're working with the mall, and working with these organizations and groups that didn't even realize the mall was a location they could go to for this kind of venue. So one example is actually Google Devs. So there's a local organization that is basically a branch off of the massive Google organization. And what they do is a lot of hackathons. And for anyone who may not know what that is, it's basically a coming together of developers in the community to try and solve a problem for the better of the community. This was actually one they worked with NASA, and we actually had it at our space.
Is this the one Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday, actually.
And Sunday, wow.
So we actually partnered up with A Cup of Pasta right across the way in
There
the
you
food
go.
court. They are gracious, they're amazing there. Antonio, the owner, thank you for everything. But that was a perfect culmination where the community came together. They had free parking. They had a great time in the mall. When someone forgot their earbuds, they walked right over to a store and grabbed some there. When we needed food, we worked with the local tenant like A Cup of Pasta, where they had a benefit, while our people at the location had a great benefit as well. So reaching out to the community has yielded us so many great results in terms of networking, but also it's such a win-win for everyone involved.
And I want to add to that, that the cost effectiveness to the community is a huge win for everyone. When you look at the fact that most of the events that we're going to be bringing to the Oviedo Mall are events that would have been held at convention centers, at hotels, conference centers, you see the cost incurred that the organizations now have to pass on to the patrons. The people going to these conferences, these events, holding them at the mall and including a whole community here, now you have a much more cost-effective solution that once they're done with the conference, they can go here and shop, they can go entertain. It's a really sound concept for the average layperson not wanting to pay that high dollar item of going to a convention center and paying exorbitant amount of fees just to listen to these speakers when they have malls in all of these communities just waiting there for these big crowds to come in and take advantage of these communities, these micro communities. That's what these malls are. These malls are micro communities that are dying, and we need to save them. And that's what these events do. These events bring awareness back to available space in our community.
Oh, I like that. So, I know you've got a few more events coming up. What are they and when are they coming up?
Okay. We have a November 6th event that is on our website and on Facebook. We have a November 16th event that is a pretty big blockchain event that we have these guys flying out. I don't know if I can say this, it's Tron. It's a cryptocurrency company. They're worth almost $2 billion.
Wow.
They're changing the landscape for the finance industry and the digital currency industry. That's November 16th. November 6th.
And the 16th is the Google Dev Fest.
There we go.
That one is a purchasable one, but that is actually a big event where we're going to be using multiple locations in the mall. So it's going to be a perfect example where one day we utilize Eat District Play. We have Oviedo Brewery one evening for awards, and it's going to be a great opportunity to leverage the entire landscape of the mall.
And those are just two major events now in November. So just keep watching, follow us on Facebook. You'll see that we have events all month long in December, January, and all year long 2020.
Well, that's exciting. Well, and of course, there's more than just you two, right?
Yes.
So who are the other NeoWare partners?
So we have a grand total of about 10, and we kind of squatted up. I, as CEO, do not have all the strengths needed, and no company does. So what they do is they get some chiefs, a chief operating officer, a chief marketing officer, a chief business development officer, and I have to tell you that when you Google all the chiefs you can have under a CEO, I got them all. And those are my partners. They hold the same clout as I do. No one person is above another. It's been an amazing experience to have partners that not only carry their own weight, but add true value to the bottom line of the business.
And it's all about culture and maintaining that team. That's something he and the rest of the team really pushes.
True.
Before this even happened, we were trying to see if we can force 2 to 3 other people behind us from our team even. So we're very focused on that.
And I want to throw something else. A lot of businesses are afraid to bring faith into the business landscape, but Chick-fil-A has done an amazing job.
Amen.
And I believe that we're doing the same thing. We're bringing faith and the power of community together and bringing this into business. That's kind of a game changer, because the business is a dog-eat-dog, sharky kind of world. So having people respect through faith, I really believe that's another element to communities when you're building something like we are, especially what the Oviedo Mall has.
Amen. I appreciate you bringing that up.
Definitely.
So, and listen, talking about faith, I've been praying a lot about the Oviedo Mall turning around, becoming a home run.
Amen.
Of course, I pray for a lot of other stuff too, but I throw that in there once in a while. So, well, let's see. I think our time's about up. I am so excited that you guys decided to be a part of my first show. It's not a perfect show, but we're having a lot of fun. We're going to have many more tenants coming as the weeks go by. So give us some feedback if you liked it, and just stop in. See me. My door is always open in the mall. Anybody who wants can come in, visit me, and have a cup of coffee and chat about the mall. And if it's a good chat, I might just give you a free hat. Signing off, Oviedo Mall TV show. Have a great night.